finding time for digital marketing can be very, very difficult. When you're running a business, I know I run a business, and trying to find time for digital marketing, understanding everything is very confusing, it's overwhelming and things like that. So you might have a staff that's doing it, and they might be overwhelmed as well, because it's no joke to kind of try to run all this stuff on your own, especially when you've got a business that's focused on something else, right? Unless you're actually, it's hard enough for me to do my own digital marketing, and I run a digital marketing business. So I can only imagine what it's like if you're running a law firm, or you're running a dental clinic, or you're running a veterinary clinic, and you need to be able to do digital marketing, or you're some kind of a small business of other type, right? So what I've done here today is I have put together a list of high impact, relatively low effort. I know the headline said low effort, but that's because I want your attention, right? High impact, but low effort tips for digital marketing. So I'm going to walk you through that in this episode. I'm going to basically, there are about 15 of them. I mean, some of them could be consolidated. Some of them might not be able to be consolidated, but in the ballpark of 15. I'm going to, walk you through what it means to identify your core keywords, laying down the foundation for your SEO, and then also strategies for plugins, conducting regular site audits, and all the different tactics that you could deploy, and what's important, what's not important. What I'm trying to do here is trying to cut through the clutter, cut through all the stuff that you read and hear, and really give you my experience and my opinion and my expertise on what I would do if I was in your position running your business. Is I would focus on these things, and I would, apply my efforts on these things before I did anything else, right? So with that in mind, let's get started talking about the high impact but low effort digital marketing tips to help you get your business to where it needs to be. Welcome to the latest episode of Corner Your Market. I'm your host, Sailes Kimide. In this podcast, I talk about all things digital marketing, from website design and development to SEO and PPC, as well as paid media marketing and email marketing, as well as social and anything in between. If you're a small business owner, a marketing manager in a company, or an entrepreneur, this podcast is for you. So tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. You'll gain some practical insights, new strategies, tactics, and tools that will help you grow your business. I provide helpful information to business owners like you to help your business. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and share this content. So the number one thing that I would start with is identifying your core keywords. And this is important because it flows from who your core audience is, right? And you already know that. You should, at least. I mean, any business that's been around or has been able to make its, make a mark in the last, if it's been around for at least 3 or 4 years, you know who your core audience is. At least you should know who your core audience is. So what you're doing here is you're taking something that you already know, your core audience, and you're basically putting those into words. And you're saying, okay, what are the search terms that they would use to come to my site and do business with me? So the first thing you need to do is spend a little bit of time going over that. You need to basically identify what your core audience is. So for example, if you're a law firm, right, you might want to say, okay, estate planning attorney near me is one of your core search terms, because you want people near you, you do estate planning. Or maybe you're a personal injury attorney, right? And you want to identify exactly the terms that would be useful for you. Or maybe you are a dentist and you want to get certain type of patients. So you would use those keywords, right? So spend a little bit of time on a Friday afternoon when you've got, make this a fun exercise. Think about your core audience, and then based on your core audience, type out 20, 15 core keywords that you think would be the most important keywords for your business. Don't make any assumptions. Talk to your staff, think outside the box, and go at it, and then refine it and come up with that, because that is going to be huge for you. And I'll explain why, right? Because you're going to keep that those keywords right next to you when you're doing digital marketing. Then what you're going to do, this is the second thing you would do, is then you're going to go ahead on your website. I'm going to assume you have a WordPress website. And if you don't have a WordPress website, not a problem. It's just a little bit more challenging, right? Install a SEO plugin on your website. What I would do is I would install either Yoast, which is one of the premier SEO plugins out there. You can also use All-in-One SEO. That's another really reputable plugin. I've used both. I started out using All-in-One SEO, and then I switched over to Yoast about 8 or 9 years ago. I can't speak, I don't know what to say. Besides the birth of my first daughter, I would say Yoast is probably number 3. I got other things too. I got 4 daughters, so it's probably number 5 because I can't really rank it ahead of my wife. But anyway, I can't rank it higher. Yeah, number 10 because I can't rank it ahead of my mom either. So anyway, install SEO Yoast and learn just a few things. You don't have to buy it. Just use the free features because this is, low impact, high impact, low effort, right? You could purchase it if you want, but I find that the non-purchased version does just fine for what you're trying to do. And then conduct a checkup of all the content on your website. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to the page on the back end. This is the third thing. And you're going to you're going to look at your page, and then you're going to put in what you think is your focus for that page. And you're going to put in that keyword. Remember that keyword I told you about? You're going to put that keyword into SEO Yoast, and you're going to see how it analyzes that page, right? How it analyzes that page based on those keywords. And then you're going to make the changes that it recommends that you make. It gives you a list of changes. Try to get 90% of those changes implemented. Then you're going to hit save. And you're going to do this for every page on your website. And you're going to refer to your keyword list, and you're going to check your content and and then you're going to optimize your content, right? So that's the thing that you would do if you already have decent content, right? Now, if you're in the process of maybe rewriting content, or you feel like that didn't really work for me, my content's horrible, then what you're going to do is you're going to write new content, right? That's the fourth thing you're going to do. You're going to write new content, and you're going to go through the same exercise with that new content that you've written, okay? So you're going to pay attention to things like headings, the length. You're going to pay attention to specific keyword placements, specific keyword focuses, and you're going to be brutal. You're going to break the page up into 2 or 3 pages if you're covering too much stuff. If you're talking about dentures and mouth restoration and veneers and all that kind of stuff on the same page, you're going to break that up into 3 different pages because you want to rank specifically for those pages, right? So now you've done that on your website. Now what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that your Google business listing is up to date and it's optimized. So what you're going to do is you're going to go log into your Google business listing, and you're going to look at the paragraphs that you put in there, and you're going to compare that with the keywords that you have, and you're going to make sure that that thing is optimized against your keyword list that you so painstakingly put together on that Friday afternoon with your staff and with yourself, right? So I'm telling you how easy it is. We're already in step 5. That was step 5, right? And once you've optimized Google, which is the king of search, 92% of search on the internet is on Google, right? And then once you've done that, you're going to then open up the other ones. You're going to look at Facebook directory, your listing on Facebook, your listing on Apple, your listing on Bing, and your listing on, if it's relevant, on a directory like Yelp or something that is relevant to your industry. You're going to basically clean that up. And I've done many episodes on these types of things. You're going to focus on name, address, and phone number, and you're going to make sure it's correct, like it matches across the board, okay? That's what you're going to do, okay? That's point number 6. And again, you're going to also compare that content to your keyword list, make sure everything is in alignment. Okay, then after that, what you're going to do, so you could probably do all this in the first 2 weeks, right? In 2 weeks, 2 weeks and under. I don't think it's going to take you longer than 2 weeks. Then after that, what you're going to do is you're going to go back. You're going to find a time on Friday afternoon. You're going to sit back. You're going to take out a blank piece of paper, legal pad, and you're going to write down what your review management strategy will be, right? How are you going to get reviews? How are you going to respond to negative reviews? Who's going to ask for reviews? How are you going to do it? And all that kind of stuff. I've covered this in other podcasts. This is a general purpose podcast on all these different topics. So I'm not going to go into the details of that, but I have covered this for specific industries. I've also covered this for specific instances, and I've done entire episodes on this. So just look through my archive, find the one on reputation management, and listen to that if you need more detailed information, right? But what you're going to do here is you're going to do this exercise so you have on one piece of paper, you've written out what your review strategy will be and how you're going to execute it, okay? All right, so that's the 7th thing. Then what you're going to do is you are going to talk to, this is the 8th thing, right? You're going to talk to your front office staff, the people that talk to your clients, your customers. You're also going to talk to your salespeople, right? And you're going to ask them, what are some common things our customers and our clients ask us? What are they looking for when they come to us? What are some FAQs that you've heard over the years? Let's make a giant list of all those topics, all right? Maybe you'll talk to 1 or 2 of your clients that have been reliable. Maybe they've been coming to your dental practice for years. Talk to them. What do you like about us? What things do you wish we would do better? What do you think, what are some of your major questions you have about us, about our practice, about dentistry, about veterinary services, about legal stuff, about our product, XYZ, right? What is it that you're curious about, right? Now you're going to take all that information, and then from that, this is point number 10, you're going to make a content calendar, right? I said that, content calendar. It's basically a calendar that says, okay, first month, I'm going to write 3 blog articles on these 3 topics, all right? Based on that list that you created, talking to your clients, right? So you're going to do that, and then you're going to basically assign out those blog topics to different people in your office or to yourself, or you're going to get an SEO agency or a content writer to write that for you, and you're going to publish it regularly. Now, that's point number 11. We're almost towards the end, guys. And we're probably only in week 5 or week 6 of doing this, right? And you're doing a little bit at a time. The key on the content publication, though, is you need to make sure that it's feasible for you. Don't try to publish 5 content pieces a week. You're not going to do it. Not going to happen. My experience is between 1 and 3 is reasonable, possible, doable, and extremely feasible. All right. So I would do that. And it's like joining the gym, guys. I mean, do you think you're going to go to the gym twice a day? No. Is it more reasonable that you're going to go 2 to 3 times a week? Yes. Once a month also doesn't happen, right? Nothing happens if you go once a month. I mean, what's the point of going to the gym once a month? If you have a good reason for going to the gym just once a month, I'd like to hear it. And I'd also like to know your results. All right. So you're going to publish that content regularly, right? And then after you've done that, now we're going into point 11. Sorry, I jumped ahead there a little bit. You're going to set up and make sure you have access to Google Analytics and to Google Search Console. Those are the 2 most important measurement tools that you have when it comes to your website's performance. And what you're going to do is you're going to listen to my episode on GA4 that I did not too long ago. And I've done a couple of episodes on the most important metrics you need to pay attention to, how to use Google Search Console. I've done all those episodes, guys. It's not rocket science. Just go back and listen to it. If you're cleaning one bathroom, 20 minutes, you'll do one, and then go on to the next bathroom, clean the second bathroom, and you got your second episode, right? So in cleaning 2 bathrooms, you'll have my episode on GA4 and my episode on Google Search Console. Become familiar with it. You don't have to be an expert, but you do need to know what content's working for you, where the people are coming from, what they're doing on your website, and things like that, right? So not too complicated, very, very doable. And then so that's kind of point 11 and 12. This is the one point that you could probably consolidate together, right? So now what you have at this point, what you should have is you should have a really concise list of keywords you're focusing on, a really concise list of topics you're going to focus on, and a really good way of measuring how you're doing in all those topics and all your keywords and your traffic volume. So you have a really good sense of how your website's functioning and how your SEO and how your outreaches are going, right? And then what you're going to do is you're also going to check your site's load time. Very important, very important. You are going to go to a McDonald's, okay, or a Starbucks, or a coffee place establishment of your choice, or a fast food restaurant of your choice, and you're going to go and you're going to use their Wi-Fi. And when you go on their Wi-Fi, you are then also going to open up your browser, and you're going to open it up in incognito mode, okay, which means you're not logged in to the browser. We all used to surf in incognito mode, and then they made us sign in with our Gmail addresses so they can track us. And we all, like lambs and sheep, just said yes and just nodded our heads and gave them our email addresses. And now surfing incognito is kind of like being rebellious. Anyway, the reason why you're doing this is because you are trying to simulate what how your business is positioned, as if you were somebody new coming in from a different IP address, completely new IP address, completely incognito. They don't know who you are. And how does your website rank, and how does it appear to somebody that searches for that keyword list that you just prepared, that you took to this restaurant? Make sure you order a cup of coffee or get yourself a drink or get their food. Don't just use their facilities without paying for it. But that goes without saying, right? And if you've been listening this far, you can also laugh, right? I hope that made you laugh. Anyway, so when you do that, you're going to measure the load speed of your site. So you're going to find it. You're going to get a good idea of where you're ranking, and then you're going to hit on your website link, and then the website's going to load, and you're going to mentally time how long it takes for that page to come up, right? 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, hike, right? And then you're going to note that, and you're going to do that several times just to kind of see how you do. And you could do it at different locations. What you want to do is you want to make sure that your site load time is 2 seconds and under, okay? If it's 2 seconds and under, you're doing great. If it's more than 2 seconds, between 2 and 3 seconds, okay, there's some places you could improve. If it's more than 4 or 5 seconds, you got problems. So in that case, you're going to need to use some kind of a tool, like a Google web developer tool, to troubleshoot, get your web developer involved, tell them that it's taking too long to load, and hopefully you can fix it. I'm speaking as if you have a WordPress website. A lot of times, some of these fast load time issues, slow load time issues, you can't fix because the third party that you're using to host doesn't give you access to mimify the CSS or change the JavaScript or put in or take out HTML code that might be weighing the site down. So that's a different issue. That's a whole different topic. I've covered this issue in one of the topics I covered on selecting a web design platform like a CMS. I think I did that one about a year ago. So anyway, so you've done that. Then you're going to come back, and you're going to come back to your office, or you could do it at the place you're at, and you're going to reevaluate the design of your website because you now know how much time it takes to load. You're going to be able to take a fresh look at the homepage. What are people doing on the web homepage? Can you move things around? Is there design improvements that you could make so you could get better conversions and things like that, right? So you can do that, and you're going to make a list, and you're going to give it to your designer, you're going to give it to your developer, and they're going to make those changes for you. So that's point number 14, guys. We've made it through 14 points already. And if you've been doing this methodically, this could be done, maybe an hour, 1 hour a week, and you could be at point number 14 in like 8 weeks, 6 weeks. So now, the last thing you're going to do, I said last thing because I think this is not the most important thing in terms of priorities, is especially for a business like the type of businesses I talk to and the type of businesses that I work with and the type of businesses that I want to work with, which tend to be practices like dental practices, veterinary practices, law practices, and things like that, and some manufacturing companies and small business owners. you're going to take a look at your social media, because I say that because that is a forward-facing property that basically gives people an impression of who you are. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at it as if you're looking at it for the first time. You're going to check for incorrect information. You're going to check for outdated information. You're going to look at the content that you've been posting. You're going to compare that content to the list of content that you already use for your website, for blogging. And then you're going to improve it. You're going to put a strategy together. You're going to take a Friday afternoon, 2 or 3 hours, and you're going to write, okay, this is what I need to do for my Facebook. This is what I need to do for Instagram. This is what I need to do for, LinkedIn, whatever social media that you're going to use. And then you're going to basically list out the different type of content you're going to put. And then you're going to assign that to specific people in your office, or you're going to hire somebody to do it and things like that. But you're basically going to maybe improve or change the way your social media presentation looks for your business. And so if you do all of these things, they're pretty low-hanging fruit, very doable on your end. It doesn't take that much time. If you do all of these things, it will definitely have a very measurable and high impact on your business. And what you'll realize is it's relatively low effort on the overall set of things, right? So as I conclude this episode, what I'm going to say is break up these things, put it into a calendar, put it in your Outlook calendar. Say, I'm going to do this, this, and this on these dates. Use this order that I've already given you. I'm going to put in my show notes. I'll have the order in which you need to do these things. Do them, break it up into small chunks. Be creative, be innovative, but follow the script, man. If you follow this script, I'm not going to give any guarantees, but I'm going to promise you that it's going to work, and it's going to result in you having a better web presence, good SEO presence. You're going to get traffic to your website. It's going to improve your business. You're going to get inquiries. You're going to get phone calls. And you're also going to have a very good social media presence. And it's not going to be it's not going to be as expensive and time consuming as you think it's going to be. And you're going to get a lot of people out there saying XYZ, what about this? What about that? Just don't. I have a lot of people that have followed this script, and believe it or not, they're happy. They're doing well. They're opening up new practices. They're opening up new locations. They've got lots of traffic coming to their website. The key is you follow the script. You do what I've told you to do, and you do it effectively. It's going to have a measurable impact on your business. So with that, I'm going to close out this episode on the high impact but relatively low effort tips for digital marketing. So go do it and leave a comment once you've done it. Give me some testimonies, folks. I want to hear from you on this one. And until then, happy marketing.